Hello everyone, my name is Chanania Engelsman and I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas. In the beginning of this week's Parashat Vayetchanan, Moshe Rabbeinu asks to be allowed to go into Eretz Yisrael, Ebrana ve'er'eh, just to be able to see it, Ha'aretz HaTovah, the good land. Hashem responds and says no. He refuses to listen to him. The pasuk says, Vayitaber Hashem bi le'ma'anchem ve'lo shama elai. Hashem got angry at me, le'ma'anchem, because of you, and did not listen to me. Vayomer Hashem elai, Rav lach al tosef daber elai od badavar hazeh. Hashem said to him, enough, don't speak about this matter anymore. Moshe Rabbeinu is not allowed to go into Israel. And Rav Bazak focuses here on the term le'ma'anchem, because of you. Somehow it was the Bnei Yisrael's fault that Moshe could not go into the land of Israel. Rav Bazak explains that this is to do with the bigger picture. There's more than just the chet of Moshe Rabbeinu, but really it's connected to the chet HaMeraglim. Once the Yotzei Mitzrayim could no longer go into Eretz Yisrael, when the new generation, so too they had their own issues, and Moshe Rabbeinu then goes and he has a sin that is connected to the people, there was no more tikkun. There was no way of remedying that. And therefore Moshe Rabbeinu could not go in because of the people, le'ma'anchem. It was connected to the people, and therefore Moshe Rabbeinu could not go into the land of Israel. The Netziv in Ha'emek Davar takes a completely different approach. He actually says, le'ma'anchem, eino kamo mashmut biglalchem. It's not because of biglalchem, because of you. Shehu b'sivatchem, ela le'ma'anchem mashmao letovatchem. That it was letovatchem. It was for your benefit that Moshe Rabbeinu could no longer go into the land of Israel. I think that connected to this is an idea that Rabbi Farhi speaks about for the famous Midrash that we all learned when we were younger. Moshe Rabbeinu was told he could no longer go into Israel. And we're told that were he to daven one more time, Hashem would have had to let him in. If Moshe Rabbeinu would have gone into Israel, then he would have built a Beit HaMikdash, and the Beit HaMikdash would never have been destroyed. If this would have been the case, there would have been no way for Hashem, when us, the Bnei Yisrael, when we sinned, there was no way for Hashem to then destroy the building. And Chas v'Shalom, Hashem would have had to destroy the Jewish people. The way I always understood this is that Moshe Rabbeinu had a choice to make. He had to either choose himself or the Jewish people. And he gave up of himself. He gave up his own dreams, his own desire to go into Eretz Yisrael for the good of the nation, for the good of the people. He sacrificed what he wanted. Rabbi Farhi explains that there's a different way of looking at this. It's not that Moshe Rabbeinu sacrificed or gave up his own desires, rather, he had a hierarchy of his own values, of what was important to him. And for him, he had himself and his desire to go in Eretz Yisrael, but there was a higher value, which was the Bnei Yisrael, the Jewish nation. And Moshe Rabbeinu always chose the Jewish people above himself. We see the same thing by Chet HaEgel. Well, when Hashem says to him, let's start a new nation with you, through you. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, no. It is the Jewish people who must continue. You see, in our lives too, we also have decisions which we have to make. And sometimes these decisions are hard. And we look at them and we think to ourselves, well, what did I have to give up for this? What did I give up for my children? But I think it's much more positive, much more empowering to look at it as our own value system. What is the reason that we are making that decision? Just recently, when I was away on my summer holiday, I went with my 7-year-old to a theme park. And he says to me, Daddy, can you please come with me on a teacup ride? And I can tell you, I'm not a teacup fan. It's not something that I enjoy. And I know that I'm going to feel sick afterwards. But my 7-year-old child is asking for me to go with him because he wants to go. At that moment in time, I have a choice to make. It's not that I'm giving up of myself. It's the opposite. I'm choosing, actively choosing to give to my child, to be there for my 7-year-old so that he doesn't have to go by himself. Moshe Rabbeinu too had his choices, his values, and he always chose the Bnei Yisrael above his own personal choices. May we be zocheh the merit to make choices, empowering choices and positive choices in our life, and may we see Hashem's nechama together b'mheira v'amenu. Shabbat shalom.